Charm Grammy Crochet. How you doing today? It is Sunday. I don't have any idea of the date, but it is the Sunday before Memorial Day. I don't know, a week before Memorial Day, because Memorial Day is on Monday this year. And we are at the camper, so this is Camper Crochet, I think number 4 for this year. I would be outside. It is a beautiful, beautiful day outside, but it's warm. And so I'm in the, I literally have been in the house all day. It was chilly this morning, then it's gotten warm, but I was working in the house because I made a huge mess, whole nother story. We got the internet out here. For the first time ever since we've owned our camper, 10 years, we have internet at the campground. So I'm real excited about that. So I was doing some work in the camper and I had TV on, just because I could. I watched a lot of YouTube videos this morning, and then I thought I could watch TV. I'm going to give it a shot. Oh, pardon me. I haven't been active enough today. Well, I've been active. I spilled stuff all over the counter this morning when we were making breakfast, and it became a huge mess. I had the dropsies today, as they say. And so I had to clean the whole counter, the stove, the cabinets, the floor, everything that was on the counter. It was a big mess, and then I just had other things to do. So I thought, you know what? I can turn the TV on, and I did. So that was kind of fun. And now I'm just crocheting. And I'm doing it in the house because I am, you want to know what I'm working on? I'm working on my hooker versus hooker, and I'm making a baby blanket. So hooker versus hooker, if you don't know, is it's a crochet along, I guess you'd call it a crochet along, dreamed up by Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming, and Jan, an Alaskan crafter. And I don't want to go into all the details because I know most of you probably know it, hopefully participate in it. I do every month. I try to participate in their hooker versus hooker. I've been on the panel. There's a panel of 4 crocheters, Laura and Jan, and then another podcaster and a subscriber that doesn't have a channel with crochet content, and they have a specific item that they have to make. This month's item is a baby item, and it could be any baby item, and I chose to make a blanket because then I could make it for Camp Boggy Creek, because their blankets aren't that much bigger than a baby blanket, honestly, if you make a square anyway. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sure you've heard about the blanket already if you've been around for a while. So there were 3 colors chosen. They can choose from 1 to 5 colors for the hooker versus hooker. You're not supposed to use variegated yarn unless they specifically say that you can. You have to do individual colors. And they chose yellow, green, and white. Well, it just so happens that I have this ice yarn, and so it's in a crinkly bag, so be prepared. It happens to be yellow, green, and white. And I bought it for baby/boggy blankets. I thought, originally, I thought very good neutral, and I want to keep baby blankets, like just one, in case somebody's having a baby, then you have a very neutral baby blanket. You know, you just, oh, I didn't know so-and-so was having a baby, and, you know, now you have a blanket for them. That was the plan. Then, Boggy Creek came along, and so every blanket I make pretty much goes to Boggy Creek now. So this blanket will also go to Boggy Creek, which is a camp for kids in Eustis, Florida, that Nancy from She's Got Yarn, myself, and Billy the Alaskan Crafter started collecting blankets for two winters ago, 2 Augusts ago. This will be our 3rd August coming up. And Billy has bowed out this year from being part of the collections team. She is already making boggy blankets for the year. She just doesn't want to be on the podcast every week, you know, and on a strict schedule like that. So Lynette from Nina's Knots Crochet is going to pretty much take over for her. The good news is Lynette also lives in Florida, unlike me, who lives in Ohio. So if Nancy gets overwhelmed with blankets, we can probably maybe send some down Lynette's way. I will be there for delivering of the blankets. I just don't know where I'll be coming from, because we'll deliver in 2025. So our goal for our first year's goal was just some blankets, and we got 340 blankets, and we were thrilled to death for that. Then the next year, this past year, we wanted to double our goal, or maybe we got 370 blankets the first year. Anyway, we wanted to double our goal, end up with like 750-ish blankets, and we had, that was what Billy, Nancy, and I had hoped for. But all of you wonderful people out there said, oh, no, that's not enough. We want to do 1,000. And y'all, you did 1,000. So we're hoping to double it again this year. And so for 2025's donation, in probably February-ish, we're hoping for 2025 and 2025. So get your crochet hooks out and start crocheting along. This is, so Lynette last year had a whole thing about sending her a granny square, or a few granny squares, and she would put them together, and she ended up with like 5,000 granny squares. Which is way too much for one person to put together in, 4 months. People would send her an entire box full of granny squares. Well, let me tell you, that poor girl, she was doing her best, but she did not get through all 5,000 granny squares for sure. So she gave me, when I was down there, a box full of purple granny squares, and I have put them together. Well, I put one box of them, one blanket's worth together. I have another blanket and a half, I think, worth of granny squares that I can add to make a blanket. I just haven't done it yet. But I'll be doing it soon. And I have some willow squares that I made a couple of years ago. I used to take all my scraps and make willow squares out of them. As I finished a project, I was trying to do that. Finish a project, make a willow square. Or start a willow square, and if it wasn't enough to finish it, then the next project went into the willow square. So they were like scrap willow squares. But they're bigger than I think the granny squares that Lynette had asked for that I have from her. I think my willow squares are about 8 inches. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't even looked at them in like 2 years. And I was going to put them together, and my daughter said, Mom, let me arrange them. I said, okay. She said, next time I come over, whenever. All right. Well, we haven't sat down with those things for her to arrange the color design yet. But I'm going to force her into that this summer. She is a school administrator, and she, I don't know if she's going to school this summer or not. She's talked about it. But I don't know if she will. If she doesn't go to school this summer, she will have a lot of time on her hands when, school is closed. Usually she's going to school or seminars, or she's working a part-time job, a separate job during the summer. But this summer, I think she's planning on just, actually sitting back and taking a break, which I really hope she does. So if that's the case, I'm hoping that she gets a lot of crochet time in. because it is, and books and, you know, just relaxation time. And maybe she will come over and we will get a set pattern together for those willow squares. I would show you, but they're at home. So when we packed to come here, we've been coming and staying, like, the campground opened May 1st. They let us come in a little bit early to clean up and whatever. Usually it's like a week or two early they let you in, but it was so rainy this year that the campground grounds were just soaked, and people were going to get stuck. Not all the roads are paved, and he couldn't open it up because the non-paved areas were just so flooded with all the rain. So finally we were allowed in, but if you've been around, you know my husband had knee surgery, and he wasn't in a way to be able to stay. Oh, you want to see the blanket? Because I got to switch it, so you'll see. This is what it's looking like. It's not 40 inches. I hope. I'm looking for a 40-inch square. That's the size. Let's measure. That's the sweet spot for boggy blankets. Boggy blankets should be 35 to 40 inches wide, 40 to 50 inches long. So if you're making a square blanket, 40 by 40 is the size. Hold on just a second. Keep. It's a really good spot for this. Nope. We are about almost 33 inches. So that's good. When it gets to 40, it'll be done. Or maybe sooner. I think I should reach 40 inches, I hope. I have 2 full skeins, and these are the ones I'm working from on my wool genies. The one wool genie was a gift to me from Laura from an Alaskan crafter, and it's really nice. If you guys have never used one of these, they're so awesome. And so you just it's plastic, and it's got this metallic thing up here, metal, magnetic, and you got a little stand, and this stand has a hole in it, and this, so you can stand it so it's not swiveling if you want it to be that way, or you can do this, and then as you pull the yarn, there, cut a little stuck, it just kind of pulls the yarn nicely for you. I really love it. You do not center pull on your skeins. I mean, you just stick it through the center and away you go. And Laura got that from someone. I don't think they have a name printed on. No, I don't know the website that she got it from, but I know it was an Etsy shop. But there's a online ordering thing called AliExpress, and if you were a first-time user, they had this one that you could get for like 10 bucks, really cheap, and I think it was free shipping. So, and maybe it was 12 bucks, I don't know. It's not as nice as the one that that Laura gave me, but it does the trick. It's not as sturdy, it's not as well put together, but at that price I was going to order a bunch of them. They only let you order one. And I wouldn't have just reached out to buy a second one, because I don't use 2 yarns at the same time very often. But now that I have the second one, I'm really glad that I have it. And if I was making a blanket that had several colors of yarn all at once, and I could just line them up on the table and just switch out the yarn and they're all just right there, it could be really, really convenient for doing that. Like, you know, yarns that you're going to switch colors. If you're going to do, say, a red, white, and blue blanket, and every couple of rows you're switching the colors, it would be awesome to have a wool genie for each one. But it's also pretty easy to take the yarn off. Let me show you. If you're done with that color, or you just want to, you know, So it just, you know, just slides right on and off. If you were done with that color and you wanted to put your other color on, or if you were going to work on a different project and you wanted to use the wool genie for that project, I think it would be really good if with a cake as well. I've not put a cake yarn on it. I think Laura has. But I think a cake yarn could work out really good if you wanted to outside pull it, because it's not going to cave in on itself. You know how as you pull from the center on a cake, and then you end up with you know, a mess. I think this might help with that because you pull from the outside, but sometimes you want to center pull. I mean, it's the common practice, but you know, maybe you want the center color and not the outside color for the start of your project as well. So you'd have to, you know, think about that when if you were going to put a cake on it. Some real big cakes wouldn't fit, I'm sure. But some of those 1 and 2 weight yarn cakes would be really nice to keep on one of the wool genies. I really like it. So I have worked on this while I've been here just a little bit. I've mostly only crocheted one other thing. Well, I really and truly only did crochet one other thing. I did, if you guys know Judy from Witch Piece Crafts, I do her hashtag Shutterbug which is twice a month, and I've been making keychains just to participate. And I said I was going to make 2 this time. I asked my husband to look through my little books. I have 3 of these. This one is the birds, and then I have ocean creatures, and I have just mini animals. I don't know if they're specific, but I got these books off Amazon, and they're all designed to be made very small. Obviously, they're called mini, and I am doing the owl, and I decided I would do 2, the owl and the eagle, down here at the bottom. Well, I started on Friday night doing the the owl, and I read a little bit of the pattern, and it says you use the head of the cockatoo to make the head on the owl. And so I thought, I wonder if that's the same thing that you do with the eagle. And it is. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make, but the bodies are different. So the body of the cockatoo and the body of the owl are the same. So, okay. So I did, other than you have to add decoration, you know, to the owl. So I said, okay, I will do the owl, his body, and then I'll do his head, and then I'll do the eagle's head at the same time, so that, you know, it'll be fresh in my mind, it'll go quick. And that worked out really well. Now, mind you, this was Friday night. I worked Friday morning. I started work at 4 o'clock. I got up at 2:15. And when I sat down to crochet, I worked my 8-hour shift, which I rarely ever do, but I did put in 8 hours. Came home. We had to pack all of our clothes. I had to get our pills together. Like, I take a couple of different medications. My husband takes one medication, and we take a bunch of vitamin supplements. And so I had to get that stuff together because I didn't have it. And I keep them in, you know, I have little pill containers, you know, the days of the week thing for us. And we were out. They were empty. I'm like, okay, so I got to fill those. And we ate lunch and had to pack food. And anyway, we were out of the house in an hour and a half. Less than an hour and a half from when I got home from work. So I thought that was pretty good, considering I didn't have like my clothes packed or anything. And there were specific things like, let's not forget this, let's not forget that we were going to bring out here. And we got out here, and of course I had to make sure I had the right crochet stuff. And we got here. We unpacked. It's now 4 o'clock. By the time we unpacked and put things away, I laid down for an hour. I was exhausted. I took an hour nap, and we got up and we cooked. And nope, I take that back. We went out to dinner. because I was tired. I was so tired. And I think we had a little bit of a campfire. I can't even remember. And then I came in and I was going to crochet, and that's when I started this. It was late at night, and my eyes were so tired. So I'm crocheting, and I can barely read the patterns. My eyes are like so blurry and tired, but I wanted to get some crochet in. And I thought, you know, this will be quick. I'll just do the little bodies and the little heads, and then I'll be done. So I did the owl's body and the owl's head. And it said, you know, between row 7 and 8 or whatever, put the eyes. So I remembered to put my, this is a paper clip that I've done, and then I put the ring on it so it doesn't come out, put the eyes in, finish the head, stuff it, sew it together, and I'm like, I should have got bigger eyes or something because he looks really funny. I go back to the pattern, and as it turns out, you're supposed to make the body, then you're supposed to make the face plate. This thing. Yep. You gotta make that before you put the eyes on. But because I was tired and my eyes were blurry, I did not read the whole pattern. I just read, oh, you make the head and you make the head. Okay, we'll do that. Well, then I didn't bring enough stuffing. So I finished the owl plus a head. I don't know, I'll make something else out of it. I don't know what. Or maybe it'll just be a face. I don't know. But I got these two, and this is what I did, and this is my owl. His head keeps flattening out. He needs to have a rounder head. I don't know what the story is. Anyway, then I realized I did not have enough stuffing in the bag I bought because I am out of stuffing. I do have some, this is the bag. I have some yarn in there because I do use, you know, the little snippets of scrap yarn and put them in my animals as well. But I don't have enough of that, I don't think, and it's colored. And the owl's head, or the eagle's head is white. So I can't make the eagle's head and stuff it with like pink and purple and, you know, whatever yarn, because that's all I have. So the eagle isn't getting made until I get back home. So anyway, this is the eagle, or the owl, that I made for hashtag. And this is the head. I don't know what's going to happen with that guy. I did use ice yarns. I used these three. This one is the face, this one is the body, and then this dark one is the feet and the writing. And this is the one I'm going to use, I think, as the body on the eagle, and then the white and the yellow. I did put bigger eyes in, as you can see. Let me grab them back again. So originally I did these eyes, but I ended up putting the bigger eyes in. And now I'm wondering if maybe that's why he looks funny. Because to me, he looks more like a teddy bear on his face than an owl. I also did not quite do the beak. I made some changes, which I usually don't do. The ears were supposed to make separate and sew them in, and I did puff stitches versus like a magic ring and chain for, you know, 4 single crochet and two single crochet and 4 single crochet and turn it upside down and sew it on. So it's tedious little tiny things. Normally I would have long stick pins that I would stick in and hold it, but I forgot to bring those. So you know, I'm like, I'm never going to get that sewn on. So I just made little puff stitches. I did that. The wings I did differently too. His little wings are just little, you see them? I'm like, I don't like that. I wanted actual wing looking wings. So I made mine a little bit differently. And then on the nose, it said make it flat. Well, I don't know. Mine's puffy. Like I sewed it together flat like this, and I think that's what they wanted, but I think it's like too fat or something. I don't know. You don't stuff it, but anyway, this is my owl, and he's as good as he gets. I'm not unhappy with him. He's just not as cute as her owl for some reason. I don't think. But I'm happy with them. My husband's happy with them. And he picked it out, so that's the owl. And this is, again, the book. I'll show you a bigger picture of the book. Well, this is the cockatoo that I followed the pattern for part of it for. And then that's, you know, a bigger, you gotta go here on there, there you go. Bigger picture of the owl. So he's kind of cute. Then the eagle, when I make him, that's what he's gonna look like. I really like him. So he's gonna be real cute. But the problem is, I can't make it because I don't have the stuffing. But I also forgot, like I said, my husband even mentioned that Memorial Weekend is the next weekend. Like, not this weekend, but now the upcoming weekend. Like, this is an ending Memorial Weekend. And when we were making my schedule for work, we're like, oh, we can go on Friday after I get out of work, which was like the 17th or 9th, whatever, that 10th thing, and not go back. And we could stay here like this whole week, that week, the weekend, this whole week, the next weekend, Memorial Weekend, and stay all the way till like Wednesday, because I don't go back to work till Thursday. I'm like, oh, that'll be cool. We'll have like, you know, 10 days or something. Almost 2 solid weeks. 14 days, I guess. Something like that. Anyway, 13. I didn't pack enough of our medication for that. We probably could get away with the clothes that we have, because we had clothes here, and then you bring more clothes and whatever. There is a laundromat I could do wash if I wanted to. But very important, I didn't bring enough medication, and I didn't bring enough polyfill. So I'm hoping that before, so we are going to go back, and my husband wants to go home and cut the grass. He cut the grass last week for the first time since his second knee surgery. Well, first time for both knees, because the one was cut, the first knee surgery was in October, and then the second one was in March. So he hadn't cut the grass in between. He did shovel once though, but it was the first time he's cut grass since last year, and now he's got 2 new knees, and they're neither one of them are a year old. They say it takes a year for the knee replacements to like be fully healed. So he was very sore and stiff after cutting the grass, and sadly he wants to go back and do that again, and I feel real bad for him, but he wants to do it. He needs to get his legs back into shape. You know, he walks a lot at work, and he has to go back at some point. So anyway, we will go home maybe for a night, or maybe just for the afternoon, I don't know, cut the grass and get more medications and come home or come back, get more polyfill, and maybe another project. I do have another project that I want to start. I have been promising my one granddaughter the stingray, and I have the yarn, I have it all sitting out. I'm hoping that if I finish this project, which before we go back, then I'll bring the stingray with me and leave this one at home. And I should be able to get this done. It's pretty simple. It's just a, you know, big old granny square. But the stingray or manta ray, I'm gonna make it with blanket yarn, so it's real big. I'm gonna need a whole bunch of polyfill, so I'll bring a big bag of it. That's all I really got for you for Camper Crochet today. It's drying out outside. I should be out there crocheting, but it was nice and warm or nice and cool in here, so I stayed in here. But we just got up from a nap. He's been working outside real hard today, chopping wood and everything. But then that was tiring and exhausting, and so he took a nap. And it's 4 o'clock. We're gonna make French bread pizzas on the grill for dinner today. I'm so excited to do that. and he's up now, so I think we're going to start to get that ready to go. I don't think it'll take too long, but he's got a pizza oven that comes with his smoker grill thing, and he's got to get that set up, and then we're going to make French bread pizza. So yay! Maybe I'll take a picture and attach it at the end of the video and see if it turns out all right. Maybe not though, because I just want to get the video going and uploaded. Now that I have internet service here, I can put my music in and all that stuff, just my little intro music, and work on my laptop. And I'm really anxious to see how long a 30-minute video takes to upload on the T-Mobile internet. T-Mobile, what's it called? T-Mobile home internet. And I'm going to tell you what, you guys, it's only 50 bucks. It's awesome. So far, it's working really well. 50 bucks a month. So I'm pretty excited. And we can put it on vacation when we're not here. And we don't have to pay for it. So if we're traveling, we can take it with us in our camper. So that's a real plus factor. I'm like really excited about that. But we'll see how long it takes to upload this. And I'll let you know in the next video. So I hope to see you back then. It will, I'm sure, be a camper crochet, hopefully with this blanket as being finished. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by.